I just saw the blinking comments, basically that directed at China, that China could join the equivalent of the World Council or be on the menu. And I will admit I was shocked by that. One is the phrase, "you'll be on the menu," is in itself very threatening. So why would you ever say that, especially to a strong adversary? The second thing that shocked me is, a lot of effort after 3.5 years of relative silence between the senior leaders on both sides during COVID. A real effort was made a number of months ago to begin top-to-top conversations. So we had Secretary Treasury Yellen come over. We had Blinken come over. We then had the connection with Xi and Biden. My general sense was there was a lot of very positive momentum, and you have to begin with dialogue and just being civil to each other before you can actually deal with real issues. So I was looking at a picture the other day from a Chinese spokeswoman, and it basically was a juxtaposition of what the U.S. was saying through Anthony Blinken versus what Foreign Minister was saying from China. The Chinese side of the picture basically reiterated its long-standing position, which is that the right way to move forward in the U.S.-China relations is win-wins. So look for opportunities where both sides can get what they want, and we know there's going to be compromises, but that's the way that everybody moves ahead globally in a positive way, and it's the mindset and position of most countries around the world. And I think if you were to poll the countries around the world and say, which of those 2 points of view do you support, over 90% of the rest of the world would be totally supportive of the Chinese position on win-wins. I think that the top-to-top conversations, which were very much focused on the economy, and that was needed because early on there was a lot of discussion about decoupling. Anyone who understands the economics of both countries understands that decoupling is totally unrealistic. The people who were out front on that issue came to understand that and started using the phrase risk-adjusted or risk-averse to basically say that, well, we're not going to really decouple, but we'll make sure we're not exposed to risks from the other side. But even that, in terms of tone, doesn't go far enough because it stops short of win-win, which is one side saying, here's what we really want from you. We know some of the things we're asking for will be unacceptable. Here's what you want from us, and vice versa. So the win-win that we ultimately have to get to is making real concessions on both sides. That is eminently doable, but it starts with the right kind of a mindset. My own feeling is that when you look real world at issues and the real power of the cooperation between the two countries is completely tied up in the economic issue because of the strength of the relationships that exist. If you were to go to U.S. companies today and say you're not going to have access to Chinese goods, there would be a huge negative impact on the U.S. because many U.S. companies are very dependent on very sophisticated Chinese supply chains that cannot be replicated in other countries. So the opportunities for economic cooperation, I think, are enormous, but obviously you've got to have a positive mindset on both sides.